Yo! Denmark, is it really that good to be the king? Alright, I finally nailed the introduction this time. So it's been a little while, and I want to do something more fun today. So I am going to go over a New Yorker article just like how I would as a Cars article, except maybe this one's a little bit more spicy, a little bit more fun to go through. And I'm wearing my Elmo hat that my mom got me a while ago, just for kicks today, because I was having a good time. It's 9 o'clock. It's early in the morning. It's early in the night, so yeah, I still have lots of energy. So let me give you a little bit of a rundown. So this guy, Prince Henrik of Denmark, French diplomat to the Queen Margaret, and this is all taking place in Denmark on the other side of the Atlantic. On the other side of the Atlantic, there's a prince disgruntled by his marriage to the Queen, and his disgruntlement has basically been caused by the fact that he doesn't get the title of the king. You know, the poor guy would have settled with the king's consort, but see, he was a French diplomat that married into the queen's family. And the queen herself is the first woman matriarch of 600 years for Denmark because it just so happened that her parents didn't foster a male son, so she got to be the queen. Anyways, so this poor guy, he's so sad. He just wants to be the king's consort, the king, and this poor lady, these two are like the beacons of Denmark, you know? They're symbolically representative of like, you know, the health and the health of the nation. So essentially, what we have as Americans in Hollywood, on the other side of the Atlantic, there is like this drama going on with the kings and queens. I mean, who wouldn't want to have a king or queen to look forward to? And these kings or queens don't have to pander to, you know, their fan base. They don't have to make their fans happy. All they got to do is, you know, be like Churchill. And when there's times of distress, you know, just say a couple words of encouragement. So yeah, so that's that's the Queen Margaret to us, and that's Prince Henrik, the French diplomat, and that's what this article was really going over. Yeah, that was really funny. So the prince himself is a little bit disgruntled. He might need to go through couples therapy with Queen Margaret. He's actually decided, I am not going to be buried next to you in the plot adjacent to you, and he's decided to cut ties, or not cut ties, but to separate himself. Yeah, so this article is written by, let me check it out. Let me check it out here. I really like to say these names. Louis Menand. And he wrote this article as just, I don't know, just maybe for fun to talk about, like, you know, interest on the other side of, like, towards back home. Is that back home? I don't know, actually. Um, yeah, and then he also goes on, he's like, oh, so this idea of kings and queens and presidents. Well, in France, I'm just gonna tie this back together. In France, the president Emmanuel Macron. Okay, I'm probably butchering these names, but Emmanuel Macron wants to bring in a first lady. He wants to make the first lady title an actual thing. So Emmanuel Macron said, "Oh, I'll bring it up to the parliament and say, please let my first lady be formally recognized." But oh no, the French people are like, we got ideas of Marie Antoinette in our head. And when she said, let them eat cake, well, they weren't happy with that. So they smashed down his proposal. So there shall be no first lady of France officially. Yeah, and speaking of our first lady, according to this last passage, our first lady has taken on cyberbullying as her policy, but little does she know, her husband, Donald Trump, is actually Tweety Pie. I thought this was like Tweety Pie, and is the bully coming for the reporters. All right, so anyways, that's my, I don't know what it was, but it was my fun like rundown of this article. Yeah, I read it in a couple minutes, and yeah, I hope you liked it. I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you all tomorrow. Goodbye.